Has there ever been a time when someone's made a suggestion to you that seems completely illogical, outlandish, crazy, and even impossible? Maybe it was your manager at work who made the suggestion. Maybe it was your partner or one of your children. But how did you react? Perhaps your first reaction was to go on the defensive, to either say no or to present 101 reasons why it wouldn't work. Or perhaps you took a rather more diplomatic approach, gently humouring them while resolving to do no such thing. Or maybe, because you felt you had little choice in the matter, or you thought anything for a quiet life, you wearily resigned yourself to their harebrained plans. It's a bit like that with the disciples in the gospel today. The crowds are hungry and tired, having listened to Jesus for several hours, and so the disciples suggest that it's time for a lunch break and that they all need to go into town to pick up some food. But Jesus has other ideas, and he tells the disciples to feed the crowds themselves. Now you can just about imagine what the disciples' reaction would have been, because it must have not been too dissimilar to what our own would be. But like with a weary parent in the toy department at Daniel's, the disciples reluctantly acquiesce to what Jesus is asking. They get the crowds to sit down in groups on the grass and begin to feed them from the little that they have. And of course we know what happens next, how despite their expectations and objections, God indeed provides for the crowd. God indeed works wonders. Now that doesn't mean to say that every crazy scheme that other people suggest to us is a good one. There's plenty of bad ideas in the world, and sometimes with the greatest respect, those we live with or work with can come up with them. Sometimes we're right to put a dampener on people's unhinged and ill-advised plans. Yet, Jesus in the gospel today seems to be suggesting that sometimes, just sometimes, through other people, God can make suggestions in our lives that we ought not to dismiss straight away. In the same way that over the last few months, most of us have found ourselves doing things that we would have thought impossible at the start of the year. So God can sometimes invite us to step out of what we see as a comfortable and sensible way of doing things in order that she might do more with us. So how is God inviting you to listen to the suggestions and ideas of others? In what way is God calling you to be open to ways in which, like with the disciples, God can work wonders in each of our lives?